Hey guys, welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys joining me for today's video and hanging with me a little bit. And guys, today I want to talk about the fact that next week there is going to be thousands of spotted bass die here on Table Rock Lake. I'm going to explain to you guys what's going on here. Time of filming this video, April 22nd, and come April 30th, there's going to be a bunch of spotted bass die down here. So we're going to get into that in today's video here. Also, guys, for get started real quick, anybody interested in booking an on-the-water private lesson with me, guys, on Table Rock Lake, where I'm at here right now, Stockton Lake, just shoot me a private message on my Facebook page, Intuitive Angling with Randy Blaukat. And also, guys, thank you very much for everybody that has been purchasing all your tackle through my tackle warehouse link. Every video description, if you guys go into the description, I've got that tackle warehouse link in there. Anything you purchase using that link, the channel gets a small percentage of a commission on what you buy. So big thank you for me and my family if you guys have been doing that. Okay, guys, I like a lot of guys that fish Table Rock Lake, myself, we are disgusted at what the Missouri Department of Conservation is going to do April 30th. They're going to reduce the size limit of spotted bass. We call them Kentucky bass here at Table Rock Lake, but they're going to reduce the size limit from 15 inches down to 12 inches. And what this is going to mean, it's going to mean a freaking meat hunters extravaganza. And here's the thing about it, guys. I'm going to dig into this a little bit here. I'm not saying that there's not good people that work for the Missouri Department of Conservation, but ever since I've been following the Missouri Department of Conservation, I'm not impressed with the decisions they make, and I'm not impressed with how they run the business. Number one, I have fished Missouri lakes, all the lakes in Missouri my entire life. For 60 years I've been fishing. Out of 60 years of fishing thousands of days on Missouri lakes, you know how many times I've been checked for a license? One time in 60 years. They are understaffed. They're under the budget. They're under, budgeted. There needs to be more policing of the lake. There needs to be more, more wildlife officials on the lake, because guys, what happens is there is tons of people that get away with the stuff that is illegal. There's people that are keeping over their limit. They're keeping under the length limit. I see it all the time. And I want to dig into this here about why this going to 12 inches on the Kentuckys is a bad thing. First of all, people don't realize, including the Missouri Department of Conservation, about how many people are meat hunters now across the country, especially here on Table Rock Lake. There are more people keeping and eating bass right now on Table Rock Lake than there's ever been. Prime example, guys, I was fishing today on the water lesson, come up around this boat dock, and there's these two guys up on the dock cleaning fish. And he goes, man, he asked if we're doing any good, and talked a little bit, and he goes, yeah, we caught a lot of fish this morning. And I said, you guys crappie fishing? You clean some crappie? No, we're cleaning bass. They both had a bunch of bass up there that they had caught, and they're flaying out, because right now the fishing's good on Table Rock. All the fish are shallow. They're easy to catch, and they're just flaying them out. I see this all the time. People are not throwing the bass back. The only people that throw bass back for the most part are tournament anglers, and then those bass are dying from bear trauma and from delayed mortality, a lot of them. So here's the problem that you have. All of the sampling data and all the sampling methods that the Department of Conservation uses does not equate to what people like myself and people that have been fishing the lake for 60 years can see. It's like there is no better data at all than if you survey anglers like myself that have fished Table Rock Lake for over 50 years, for thousands of days in the water, and ask them what they have seen as far as the state of the fishery. They are the ones that can tell you the real world scenario. You know how most of these conservation departments, how they get their data on creel sampling? They'll go right now, they'll come to a ramp like that, and they'll pull somebody over, and they say, well, how many bass did you catch today, and how long were they? And they'll talk about, that's not scientific data, guys. People could be lying to you, because sampling anglers should not even be included in a sampling study. So the other sampling, I guess they got electroshocking, I guess they have some type of netting, that type of a thing. Those are very poor ways to basically determine the quality of a fishery. The quality of a fishery needs to be determined by a real world application about how successful the anglers are, and talking to the anglers to see what the trends have been over the years and over the decades as far as the quality of fishing, where the fish are positioned at, and everything surrounding it. And you cannot go the easy route. And I don't know how they came up with this thing that the spotted bass are overpopulated in Table Rock Lake, because they're not, guys. I've been fishing Table Rock Lake for 60 years, and there's not an overpopulation of the bass in this lake. The spotted bass are healthy here. They're fat, they're in great shape. The only problem you have with them is you don't have the numbers of the bigger Kentuckys in the lake right now, because everybody keeps them and eats them when they finally do catch them, especially at night fishing. So here's the thing that I don't understand about the Missouri Department of Conservation. There are so many issues that are pressing that are more important than reducing the size limit of bass on the lake to allow even more people to keep the fish. We have got serious water quality issues on Table Rock Lake. See the lake right here, guys? The green looking color on it. Table Rock never used to be like this until all the freaking development started on the lake. And now you've got all the fertilizers and nitrogen coming off these lawns that are creating algae blooms. You got moss on the bottom of the lake. You got point source pollution coming down the James River and down the Kings River, like from Springfield, Missouri. If the Missouri Department of Conservation wanted to do something to help the lake, they would be filing lawsuits against people that are polluting the lake, and they should be concerned with habitat restoration on the lake. It's like, if you have good habitat and if you have good food source on a lake, you don't have to take any fish out of it. And one of the biggest myths in bass fishing is that you have got to manage a lake and you got to take fish out of it. That's a bunch of crap, guys. Table Rock Lake is a 50,000 acre lake. There is no way that these fish are going to get overpopulated on a 50,000 acre lake, because I'll give you a prime example of what I'm talking about. Those of us who fished Table Rock in the 1970s know how many bass were in this lake. It was full of fish, and it was full of big ones. It was nothing to catch 8 and 9 pounders. And there is a fraction of the people that fished the lake back then. I mean, a tiny fraction. There's probably, I don't even know how you measure it, but it's like there was a minuscule number of anglers fishing the lake back in 1975. And the skills they had were very, very basic and rudimentary. They had very rudimentary tackle, and they still caught a bunch of big fish. And now you fast forward to, 50 years later, the big fish are gone. Most of the time, big fish on this lake is 5 pounds or something like that. So nobody was there back in 1970 to cull out all these fish. According to their logic, back in 1975, Table Rock Lake should be full of stunted fish, because there was nobody here taking them out of the lake, because there's nobody fishing it. That point is mute. That argument is completely mute. I can promise, guys, if you shut down Table Rock Lake right now and you didn't let anyone fish the lake for 10 years, you'd come here and put your boat in, and it'd be full of hogs. Whatever the predation that comes from the natural predation is enough. It's like you've got loons, you've got eagles, you got otters, you got different type of predatory fish that balances a lake. We don't need man to balance a 50,000 acre lake. And I just don't understand why the Conservation Department don't put their efforts and their energy into, like I said, securing and improving the water quality issues, doing things like making live scope illegal. They have the political clout to make live scope illegal, but instead they've completely, just turned their back on the whole issue and just let it take over the lakes. So anyway, guys, all this is going to do, the only thing this is going to do is make less, there's going to be less spotted bass in the lake. There's going to be even less fish for people to catch. They tried this on Lake of the Ozarks. They went from 12 inches to 15 inches on the spots at Lake of the Ozarks. It didn't do anything for the lake. All you have now is you don't hardly have any spots in the lake, and the largemouth bass fishing did not improve any by doing that at all. So this is a stupid move. Whoever was behind this, I just can't believe that they would make this boneheaded decision. We all had a chance. They had a big survey. They surveyed a lot of the anglers around the state to let them know if they would want to do this, if they were up for, dropping the limit to 12 inches. And all the guys like myself, all the veterans of Table Rock Lake, we all voted against it. But they went ahead and did it for whatever reason. So anyway, guys, just another kick in the nuts to Table Rock Lake, like if it didn't need another one. But let me know what you guys think about it. We'll talk later.